Recently I went to the Cave and also RetroFest, and on those two I picked up a couple of items that were gifted to me. One being this lovely Harlequin 1-8. This is already built, so there's nothing really too exciting here. And a Mechtrum keyboard. Now it came to me, though I was given these two items completely separately, that they might go quite well together, along with a big tub of keycaps. Quite a few other YouTubers have built these, so that's nothing new, but I'm fairly sure they printed their own cases. And I thought, hey, I can do that, somewhere I've got a 3D printer, but unfortunately mine didn't really survive the move, and it's been left to rot. The chances of getting my 3D printer up and running and creating prints to the quality that I require for this project is fairly slim. So my other alternative is to lean on my sponsor, PCBWay, who do provide 3D printing services, and you can choose what materials you want and what colour, and they'll even finish them for you too. In this case I'm looking for something that's pretty robust. I'm looking through their catalogue of materials. PCBWay looks like a pretty robust plastic that would give me a case that was almost indestructible by modern day standards, and it would give a little bit of weight given it's a little bit denser than ABS. The first thing is to go to the Printables website and download the models. This just provides you with a zip file. Go into PCBWay and go to 3D printing. Take the models that you've just downloaded from Printables and uncompress that, choosing the right I/O for your particular use case, and just drag and drop that into PCBWay. You'll now get a huge list of components. You'll just need to specify the quantity and the material type for each, and any other parameters you want to change, like colour. For this instance, this part wants to be green. And then finally, you'll need to select what the product type is. In this case, I'm just going to choose a keyboard enclosure, because it kind of is. And do the same thing for the rest of the components, using black on the base, and the only thing I used a different material for was the back panel, which I did a resin print to get a much smoother finish in this rather fetching black grey. You can also use the 3D model viewer to just check that everything is as you expect, before moving on to putting everything into your basket and paying for it. So, would this be economical compared to buying a printer that is capable of doing these prints? Bearing in mind we've got two different materials here. Even a printer that would be capable of doing this would be way more expensive. So in this case, it's very relevant that I'm doing this using PCBWay rather than buying a new 3D printer. So the 3D printed parts arrived, and to my satisfaction, they're fairly hefty. Wrapping all the parts, the print quality is absolutely lovely. You get this nice glittery textured effect on the surface that was in contact with the bed, and I think that gives it actually quite a retro computer feel. But they have done a pretty good job. Dimensions and fit are really good, and that's more of a testament to Lee Smith's models than it is to PCBWay's printing. All I've got to do now is assemble everything. First thing I'm going to do is attach the flexi leads that connect to the Spectrum, making sure that I solder the ends on the right way around. Once that's done, it's a matter of just whacking it in the case and we're off to the races. So I need to install these little stabilizers, one for the spacebar and one for the longer shift key. These are relatively simple. I'm going to lay down some little pads which protect the PCB and do something, I guess, and then install the control bars over the top, and these then screw in from the underside of the board. Once that's done, we can move on to soldering in all of the keyboard switches. my slightly oddball technique of using a piece of packing foam to secure the keys while I turned the keyboard over and then soldered them in worked quite well. Surprisingly well. Almost to the point that I might even recommend this as a technique. Now all the keys are in, we can populate the keyboard. I've chosen a bit of a mismatch of keycaps from several different sets that I had kicking about, giving me a nice purple number section, a white main keyboard with grey accented keys for the spacebar, shift and enter. Now I've actually got all of the necessary components built, it's really just a matter of wrangling all of this plastic and circuit boards into something that resembles the Mechtrum. I am assured that this Harlequin 128 board works perfectly, and I will be testing it at some future date, but that's not really the scope of this video, so we'll gloss over that and assume that the board works perfectly. I also don't have the 9V power supply to hand. That's something I'll sort out in a future video, because this isn't the only Spectrum that Kathas gave me, and I'd like to do a little dedicated video into digging into the Spectrum. It's a machine that I haven't really given a lot of love on this channel, so hopefully that's something somebody will be interested in. And all assembled, it's a very aesthetically pleasing case, and there's kind of some nods to the A600. So this is what Sinclair would have made if they made the Amiga, I guess. Who knows? But having a mechanical keyboard on a Spectrum 128 is nice, and I can't wait to have a play with it once I get a power supply up and running. And as a little homage to More Fun Fixing It Lee's recent keyboard build for the ZX81, I put the spacebar in upside down to see if anybody noticed. If you found any part of this video entertaining or informative, then please click like. And why not consider subscribing to the channel? It doesn't cost you anything, but it really does help me out. In the meantime, why don't you check this out next?